صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أما بعد. um, Today I'd like to start perhaps a series for my next few talks is speaking about uh, the four things or the mission that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has assigned to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I spoke to those previously in my different topics in different occasions in the masjid. so um, in so let's start with the surah 129 in surah Baqarah, ayah number 129. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and this is actually the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. He's making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is saying, رَبَّنَا وَابْعَثْ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْهُمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِكَ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. There are four places in the Quran, very similar contents, if I may use the term contents, are discussed here, or contents are mentioned here. The second place is still Surah Baqarah in ayah number 151. كما أرسلنا فيكم رسول منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا ويزكيهم ويعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة ويعلمكم ما لم تكونوا تعلمون. The third place, ayah number 164 in Surah Al Imran. لقد من الله على المؤمنين إذ بعث فيهم رسولا من أنفسهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين. The fourth place is in Surah Jum'ah. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين. So these are the four ayahs that are mentioned in the Quran, and it is speaking about our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Very first one, Ibrahim alayhi salam, as I said, making the dua, and he's saying, raise among them a messenger from among themselves, whom shall recite your verses to them and teach them the book and wisdom and purify them. Indeed, you are Almighty, the All-Wise. So I'm going to pick a few, one thing today perhaps, and that is, what does it mean when tilawa or recitation of the Quran is? What does that mean? A lot of us are not Ahlul Lugha, and perhaps we don't understand. When somebody says, when I say we don't understand, it means that the deep meaning of tilawa. That's what I mean. We understand, of course, a lot of things, but this is what I meant. So people, the Ahlul Lugha, those who speak Arabic language, perhaps they understand what that means. But I just want to put some light on the tilawa in next 10 minutes, perhaps. And then next time we'll go further on these four ayat in the Quran. So very first one is the tilawa. So when you look in the tafsir, you will find that this is the tilawa is a super form of, or it's the actual meaning is ittiba. Yani, but the reader, when recites something, when he makes the tilawa of something, when they make the niyyah of something, that to make tilawa, that means he has the intention, or actually it is incumbent, or it is required of him to follow or to make the ittaba of what he is reciting as he making the tilawa, because he's making the tilawa of the book which has come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he's making the tilawa of the book, And tilawa means that he should have, or she should have, the full intention to follow that, what they are reciting, what they are reading. In just the academically what it means, that's what I wanted to clarify. Then the next, on the tilawa, I wanted to talk about that the Quran has words and meanings. As much as the words are important, I would say, as much as the meaning is important, the words are also important. Sometimes people try to put weight on meaning and not weight on tilawah, the recitation. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants us to take good care or make sure that the words are properly pronounced, words are properly recited. You know, the Sahaba used to. I don't know if you know the manzil or not, but there is, if I may use a term, a loose term called chapter, but there is a called manzil. There used to be 7 manzil in the Quran during the time of Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala ajma'in, during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they used to recite each chapter, if I use the term loosely, every day. In 7 days, they used to complete the Quran. These people were, they were in the Arabic language. You can say they were the masters. They knew their language and everything, and they knew the meaning as well because they were learning from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But it was still very important for them to recite the Quran as words. And don't take me wrong, that I'm not saying the meanings are not important. The faham is not important, because that's equally important. And like in, if you go to the Asul al-Fiqh, Quran is defined as huwa an-nazm wal ma'ani jami'a, meaning the Quran has the words, and it has the meanings. It is combination of those two. So, for example, for the sake of discussion, if if you writing an essay and you use the word uh, fetch, meaning bring something to me or get me something, or you use the word get, you can use interchangeable those words. Okay, but the meaning perhaps is the same, but you have changed the word. You have choice you have to make the choice to pick a word to define what are you trying to describe, or what are you trying to say. In the case of Quran, you cannot just take the words and say, I want to use a different word here, because word is, important. Word is part of the Quran. So that's why a lot of scholars, they forbid to translate the Quran in a different language and still call it a Quran, because it is not a Quran. It is perhaps a translation. It has the meanings. So without the words, the meaning doesn't mean anything. Without the meaning, Quran, the words don't mean anything. However, recitation, the tilawa, a mission that Rasulullah was given to recite to his Sahaba, and recite it the way it should be recited. It is part of his risala, is part of his messengership, if you may want to call that, to recite the words of like the Quran say, لِنُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ, that he is also has to give them the meanings of those ayat and everything that he was. So going in not too much in detail here, I just want to make sure that the recitation of the Quran is a major ibadah. The and when we make the recitation, it is also very important that we learn and we are a student of the Quran. Like Rasulullah said, "Innama bu'ithu mu'allama," meaning that I am the teacher. If Rasulullah is a teacher, whole ummah is a student. And some students have more knowledge than the others. So those students who have the less knowledge, or who are seeking the knowledge, they will go to ulama. But ulama themselves, they don't say, I am a big scholar, I know everything. They still say, I am the student of of this subject. I'm a student of the deen. So we are all a student. We have one teacher, which is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him our teacher, and we are all students. And some those who know more, we should go and learn from them the Quran, like we have learned the other skills. We have learned engineering, we have learned medical books. Nobody read books at home and become a doctor. Nobody reads engineering books at home and becomes an engineer. It doesn't work this way. So I am speaking from the point of view that we should have more than the operation knowledge. So it is a duty of the believer to learn how to properly recite the Quran in Arabic language, because words are very important in the Quran. And then at the same time, learn the meaning, the mafhooms of Quran, so you can live your life according to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you can spend your life according to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a couple more points here, then perhaps I can stop here in a couple of minutes here. So you cannot really say the person who's reciting, and just one more thing here. People sometimes say, okay, I'm going to recite Surah Yasin because somebody's passing away, so their life will go. Well, which is fine. I'm not against that. But learn Surah Yasin. What does it really say? Okay. What is happening there? Properly recite it, not in English, not in Urdu, not in Malay, in proper Arabic language. That's what the tilawa means. So, recap, tilawa means ittaba, that what you recite, you are going to make the ittaba. So, you better have the knowledge. What are you reciting? If you don't have the knowledge, you're still learning. Do not discredit, may Allah forbid, that you don't want to recite until you learn the meaning. You cannot do that. The example is what Sahaba just said, that they used to read Quran in one day. Sometime in 7 days, they will complete the Quran. Okay. So learning the Quran is important. Learning its meaning is important. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to yatlu alayhim ayatihi. He used to recite the Quran, which was important, which was something that he had to do. And another place in Quran it says, وَتُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا, that if you recite the Quran, your iman increases. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that. And there is no doubt in that. In iman will increase regardless who you are, regardless where you come from, regardless what language you speak, regardless what nationality you belong to, regardless what class, social class you belong to. It doesn't matter. You recite the Quran 10, 15, 20